It highlights a common but crucial mistake business analysts often make: overcomplicating requirement documentation. That brings us into point number one: overcomplicating requirements documentation. Listen, using overly technical language or unnecessary complexity in documentation can confuse stakeholders. Matter of fact, if I'm just going to be transparent with you, it will actually slow down the actual reviews. Why is this important? Because clear, concise documentation speeds up stakeholder feedback and reduces misunderstanding. Experiment with these actionable tips. Use plain language when possible. Incorporate visuals, diagrams, and flowcharts for complex processes, of course. And then use peer reviewed documentation for clarity before circulating widely. Point number two: failing to document changes and decisions. You already know, like I always talk about, documentation beats conversation, but this is important because a lot of times what ends up happening is verbal agreements or undocumented decisions often lead to confusion, conflicting versions of what the actual requirement was, and a lack of accountability. This is important because formal documentations establish a single source of truth, providing clarity and traceability for future reference. Experiment with these actionable tips. Record every major decision, whether it's in a meeting minutes, a decision log. Communicate changes in a centralized location, making sure that the repository is accessible. Assign owners to each document, change, and or decision. Point number three: neglecting to involve end users early. BAs sometimes focus on high level stakeholder requirements without actually engaging the actual users late in the process, resulting in missed user centric needs. End users offer practical insights into daily operations and help the acceptance of the actual adaptation. Experiment with these actionable tips. Facilitate user groups or usability testing sessions. Encourage pilot programs or even a beta testing. Maintain open channels for user feedback throughout the project. Point number four: inadequate user acceptance testing planning. What does that mean? See, if BAs do not define UAT scopes, test scenarios, and success criteria early, testing may be rushed, or matter of fact, it will definitely be incomplete. Why is this important? Because proper UAT confirms whether the solution meets business needs and drives final users in buy-in. I would love for you to experiment with these actionable tips. Develop a detailed UAT plan with timelines and responsibilities. Collaborate with end users to create realistic test scenarios. And the last and final one: allocate enough time for bug fixes and retesting cycles. Point number five: underestimating the impact of organizational change. The BAs can overlook how existing processes, power dynamics, or historical issues within a organization affect requirements gathering and solution adaptation. Why is this important? Aligning solutions with organizational culture eases resistance, it accelerates adaptation, and it just improves the overall success of the project. Experiment with some of these actionable tips. Observe, ask about organizational norms and prior project experience. Engage in change management or organizational development specialists when needed. And the last and final one: propose changes incrementally to ease cultural adaptation. I took my time with that because I want you to know, and I shared this before, you don't want to come in and even, I don't even want to say come in. If you're at the organization or new, let's do that. You want to be able to propose changes incrementally. You want to learn what is currently there. You want to learn how everything is continually moving. All right, I'll move on. Point number six: neglecting collaboration with the technical teams. Oh my goodness. How many times have I seen this? Where a BA works in a silo place, they start working all individually and then handing off requirements to developers without discussing the technical feasibility or constraints. Why is this important? Collaboration ensures requirements are realistic and properly estimated and technically sound. Experiment with these actionable tips. Schedule regular touch points with technical leads. Use a shared tool. I don't care if it's Jira or Trello for real-time requirement discussion, and encourage technical feedback during requirement drafting phase.